The world we are living in is hell. You just don't know or realize it is. So, before I get into the topic of this video, I'm going to read you guys the literal definition of hell. There's two definitions I came across. And when I read that to you, or after I read it, I'm going to explain why I believe we're all in hell. Mind you, I'm not religious. I don't follow any faith or anything like that. So you have to understand where I'm coming from. It's not a religious per se viewpoint. Although religion has some truths in it, and there are some realities about religion that people ignore because they just throw out all of it. But regardless, that's not where I'm coming from when I say what I'm going to say. But I'm going to read you the definitions and then I'll get into it. So hell, a place regarded in various religions as a spiritual realm of evil and suffering, often traditionally depicted as a place of perpetual fire beneath the earth where the wicked are punished after death. And then the other definition is, in religion and folklore, hell is a location in the afterlife in which evil souls are subjected to punitive suffering, most often through torture as eternal punishment after death. Now, if you look at the world as a whole, right? Not your individual little life, right? Where you're like, oh, my life is everything. My life is the universe. My life is all that matters, right? If you just look at the world as a whole and everything that's going on in the world, does it not feel like everyone's being punished? I mean, everywhere you look, everywhere you go, it feels like people are being punished. We had the situation with the 19 disease, right? For the last few years, since 2020. And everyone was being punished. Everyone was being tortured by this situation. It didn't matter where you went. Didn't matter who you were. Unless you lived in the middle of the jungle and you were completely oblivious to what was going on in the world, you were dealing with this situation. You couldn't get away from it. It didn't matter who you were. Now they're introducing this new thing, the monkey disease, right? And that's the new thing now. That's the new thing that they're doing to everybody. And they're trying to make it seem as if, oh, this just happened randomly. You know why they're doing this thing again? After they just did the last thing with the 19 disease? It's because they like torturing people. And when I say they, I mean the ones that control the world, right? And it doesn't matter which country you live in. Doesn't matter what government you follow. Doesn't matter what religion you believe in. None of that stuff matters. What matters is that the people that are in control, they're all working together. They run all the countries. And they like to torture humans. That's what they like to do. That's what they get off to, right? Now, if you think about hell and what I just said, then doesn't it make sense that if there are people that control the world that are willing to torture humans for fun, just because they get off to it, doesn't that kind of fit with the definition of what hell is, right? Now, where people would get confused is they think, oh, well, we're not spirits or we're not dead. Well, first of all, you don't know that. And second of all, last time I checked, according to most scientists, everyone and everything is made of energy. So we are pretty much spiritual all the time. Even if you think you're just a physical being, you're still made of energy. So you're not getting away because you don't believe, oh, well, I'm physical. I'm not in a spiritual body or in a spiritual state. So that means that doesn't apply to me. That's cool. Now, if you go by what Christians believe, and, you know, I've talked to a few of them, and they believe that everybody is a sinner and you've sinned and it is what it is. Like you're always going to be a sinner. You can never not be a sinner. So if you believe that you're always a sinner and sinners get punished, right? Where do the sinners go? They go to hell, right? So every Christian, for the most part, I can't think of one that I haven't spoken to that didn't believe this. They believe that everyone's a sinner. So they're already naturally programmed to believe this, right? So if they believe everyone is a sinner, then, and they also believe in hell and sinners go to hell, right? So they believe everybody here is a sinner that the part that they don't say is that we're all in hell because they're in denial, right? They're like, oh no, well, we're sinners, but we're saved. Like we can be saved, yada, yada, yada. But here's the thing about that. If you believe in God or whatever, you don't get to decide who God saves and who doesn't. And if you're here in this hell and you're suffering and getting tortured like everybody else, then how are you saved? You're not saved. You're in hell with everybody else. That's just the way that it works. And then I have people saying, like, what I will say is this. There are people that are protected, or there are good people that don't realize that they're good, that are being looked after because of their connection with the divine, God, the creator, whatever you want to call the entity that creates everything, right? So if you really have a strong faith and connection to that energy, you are being protected. And the energy understands whether you are religious or not, doesn't really matter. The energy understands what you're trying to make a connection to. So if you're trying to make a connection to this energy, the energy is pure love and pure goodness, right? It will protect you from this world. So you can exist within this world, which is hell, and still be protected by this divine creator or God or whatever people want to call it, right? But that's where people get confused. They think, well, because I'm being protected by this energy, then I'm okay and I'm saved and I'm not in hell. Not necessarily. You're still in hell. You just got to figure out a way to get out of it. And if you're here and you feel like you have a higher purpose or you're being protected by God or the creator, then your purpose is to get rid of all the hell that is in this world. Fix the world. Do what you have to do in this world so that everyone else can not only learn from you and get better from you, but we can all get out of the hell that we're in, right? So, and I'm not going to pretend I'm some kind of angel or some kind of good guy or some kind of divine entity. I have my flaws and I make my mistakes just like everybody else. And I contribute my fair amount to this hellish world, right? But I also realize, and I think this is what separates me from most people, is that I don't want to be here and I want things to be better. Or if I'm going to be in this world, I don't want this world to be the way that it is. But in order for that to change, everyone has to realize that we're in this hell together. And the only way we're going to get out of it is if we go against our oppressors. And our oppressors, believe it or not, are the people that you give your power away to, aka the government, or any religious figures, or any of these people that you put on pedestals. They're all working together to put you in this hell and chain you up and destroy you. They could give a damn about you. That's the truth. They only care about themselves and their little cults and cliques. If you're not part of their little cult or clique, guess what? They don't care about you. They're going to enslave you just like everybody else. People think you're free because you have a job or whatever. If you're a slave to money, then you're a slave, period. And everybody, as far as I know, is a slave to money on this planet. You're not off the grid. You can't get away from it. Even if you live in the jungle, I mean, what kind of life is that? But whatever the case is, long story short, we're all in this world together. We're all getting screwed together. And in order to get out of the mess that we're in, we have to realize we're in this hell. And we have to change it and make it the way we want. And unfortunately, and this is the part I don't like, it has to be done collectively. One or two people aren't going to do it. Everyone has to realize this, and everyone has to work together to get out of it. So I'm doing my part to inform you and to let you know where you are. And if you want to get out of it, you have to do something about it. And if you doubt what I'm saying, all you got to do is open your eyes, look around, see the world you're in, and tell me that it's a good... Just ask yourself the question, is it a good world or a hellish world? And you'll have your own answer. You don't have to listen to me. Just look around. And if you don't like what you see, do something to change it. Anyways, I've said enough. I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. Follow my social media in the links below. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.